can Haiti be fixed? So in this video, we're going to go over some of the problems that the country is facing, some of the lessons that we've learned from the country's history, and some solutions that maybe will actually help Haiti get fixed. So this is the current state of affairs in Port-au-Prince. If you look up pictures of Haiti on Google, you'll see a lot of depictions of poverty and violence. In this picture, we get to see both. We get to see gangs with guns on a pile of trash. And that is what is happening right now. Gangs are fighting amongst each other in Port-au-Prince, and they're also fighting the government to take power and take control over the country. And that's not where Haiti's story started. Haiti's story started with the Taino people, and then conquered by the Europeans and labored by the Africans. This painting is a depiction of what Haiti was prior to its revolution. And in this painting, it's a painting that shows wealth. It shows happiness. We see what seems to be a couple that are having fun. They're dressed really well in beautiful colors. And that's one of the reasons why actually that Haiti got the title of La Perle des Antilles, which translates in English to the Pearl of the Antilles, was because of its beauty and the wealth. It was the richest colony in the Americas. And what propped this wealth was actually the labor of enslaved Africans, which is included here in this painting. On the bottom left, we do see dark-skinned individuals that are working. This painting does not show the torture that was happening, the genocide that was happening to these Africans. And what actually created this wealth, generated this wealth, was the labor that went into the production of coffee and sugar. Haiti was essentially the sole exporter of coffee to Europe. Europeans got all the coffee from Haiti, and a lot of the sugar also was from Haiti. So there was a lot of coffee and sugar plantations that were being ran by enslaved Africans, which then leads to another problem, which was that the fact it was terrible work conditions. They weren't being rewarded for the labor. The labor they were creating, the wealth they were creating, was being taken away by people that didn't have to do any of that labor, and that capital was being spent in Europe. And so Haiti just became a place to extract value and bring back to Europe, which then led to the 1804 revolution, which is when the black Haitians decided to rise up with a couple other people. So there were Polish people that were there, some Taino people that were there, and they rose up and went on this mission of liberty. They used the phrase couper tête, brûler caille, which translated means cut heads and burn down homes. So it was a French genocide. If you were French during that time period, you were killed. There was no ifs or buts. You were just killed, because for centuries the Africans were being tortured by French people. And so to them, if you're French, you were just the enemy. There was no caveat to that. That was just it. You were just the enemy. Which then actually led to something else that is not spoken to a lot. And it went from white slave masters to black slave masters. Because during the revolution, what the black leaders came to realize is that they needed laborers to work, and they had no ways of actually providing anything to them, and so they forced them to labor, which is slavery. So now the enslaved population that rose up and fought, that took the risk to fight, now were being enslaved by black people instead of white people. And during that entire journey, another thing happened is when they were burning down the homes, they also burned down some of these plantations that were producing value. So that actually ended up lowering Haiti's income significantly. And another thing that ended up happening too is the French saw black liberty as a moral wrong, and they imposed that moral wrong upon other European nations. So when England would come with its ship to Haiti to trade, the French would actually police those waters and tell the British to leave, otherwise they'll sink their boats, which the French have done a couple times. They killed the captains or sunk the boats. And so now Haiti was still producing coffee and sugar through enslavement by black slave owners. The problem is no one was buying from them. You're a black nation in a world where if you're black, you were a slave to Europeans. There was no exchange of value, and you couldn't build an economy on coffee and sugar. You can't feed your people on that. And that started Haiti's journey to poverty. A lot has happened since 1804 to the present. There's a lot of history. There's some goods, a lot of bads. And in this video, we're not going to talk a lot about Haiti's history. It was just we talked about its past just for a reference point as to where it's at in the present. There's a lot of things that happen. And this is really the Haiti that I grew up in, the Haiti that I knew, which was a Haiti of poverty. It wasn't a Haiti of violence. We lived in a community where there was love. We knew our neighbors. Our neighbors would eat with us. My grandma, actually, whenever somebody passes by our home, she would invite them to eat. Like, that's just a part of our culture, a culture of love and unity, which makes sense because our flag says "L'union fait la force." That being said, we don't need poverty. Poverty is not a good thing, which I think most of you guys will agree to that. And we were thinking about how to actually help the country and Kotfe more specifically. And we did some surveys. We found two very important numbers, 90% and 3. So 90% is how much of somebody's income in Kotfe. So we're specifically talking about Kotfe, not Haiti. Kotfe is a small city, a rural city of about 50,000 people. And 90% of the laborer's income is spent on food. So that's terrible. They don't have income to do anything else. They're not paying rent. They're not paying for healthcare, because all of that is being funneled into food. And 3, that's another very important number, because that's how many times they eat in a week. So they're spending a whole lot of money on food, and yet they're only eating 3 times a week. That means the money they're spending on food is the money they're earning is so small that even though they're spending so much on food, they're still not eating. And those are very, very big problems, because economically, it's in a terrible position, and food security is not there. And so by reading Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, we came to the conclusion that building profitable agricultural companies will solve these two issues. We'll be able to generate a lot of wealth for the country and also provide food security that currently does not exist. So that's what this image is really representing, both economical growth and food growth. Like, because food is very, very, very important. And we actually ended up coming with some ideas. We used what Napoleon mentioned in Think and Grow Rich, which was think about all the possibilities, all the ways that we could generate some value for the city. And we came up with Cutfez golden egg solution, which was actually a boiled egg business. So quickly through the numbers, we would purchase a raw egg for 42 goods. We would sell a boiled egg for 75 goods, and it would cost us about 250 goods a day for labor, and we produced about 15 eggs a day. So that was a small experiment that we're doing to see if we would be profitable, because when we read the numbers, it seemed like we would. And so we ran the experiment, and it turns out that yes, we were profitable. We were able to earn 245 goods in profit a day. So we invested 630 goods, and we had a return of 38.89%, which is really good. So we were happy with that. That being said, there was a problem. I spoke to my father, and he told me that we were underpaying significantly by at least half of what we should pay the laborers, because the cost of subsistence is actually 560 good. And so we thought, oh, we have a solution. We'll sell more eggs a day, because that was something we could actually do. We could potentially double how many eggs we sell a day, and we'll be able to pay our laborers a fair wage, and we'll still earn a profit. And then we came to another problem, is where are the eggs? We couldn't find any eggs. Within a week of this experiment, we were only able to secure 50 eggs. And we spoke to a lot of people, and no one was able to provide us enough eggs for us to continue this business. So there's no way for us to find 15 eggs a day. And so we thought to ourselves, well, I guess we have to find a solution. And our solution became to produce our own eggs, to produce more eggs. And then we thought, okay, maybe this is going to be Cutfez golden egg, is having a chicken farm. So right now we are actually in conversation with a landowner to rent out part of his land so that we can produce our own eggs. And with those eggs, we'll be able to fund our business, our boiled egg business, and also meet the demand of the population. That means within a population of 50,000 people, our small experiment of 50 eggs took out essentially all the supply. So there is a large demand for eggs, because Haitians do love eating eggs in the morning with bread. And so there's a large demand, and there's no supply. And so we'll be supplying the eggs. And mathematically, we ran through some of the numbers. We are supposed to be profitable, and we have a lot of demand. So our business should run really, really well. That being said, we're just starting, so we don't have numbers yet to share. But as we go through this experiment, we'll share these numbers so you guys can see what is happening. And especially to the Haitians that are watching this video, we send a lot of money to Haiti. So once we have these numbers and we share with you guys, we really hope that you guys would use that money to invest home into your small rural cities and start your own chicken farms, your egg farms, because we desperately need that. There's just such a lack of supply, and there's profit to be earned. So it's going to be a win-win-win. We're going to be feeding the people, we're going to be hiring the people, and you'll be earning a profit. So really looking forward to sharing those numbers with you guys, and I want to see more of these businesses happening all across the country. So that is the goal, is for us to grow from the grounds up. That is the best solution that we have, because we can't rely on trade. We've seen that what happens. We do have to grow food. It is the best way to build a foundation, economic foundation for a nation. Because our goal is to transform the country like Singapore did. Singapore was in a different situation that was also terrible. They had different issues than we did. And within a 30-year time span, they went from a third world nation to one of the wealthiest nations per capita in the world. And so we can use some of the lessons from Singapore's wealth and history to wealth for our own country. And it's also there as an inspiration to see that it is possible, that other nations have been in terrible situations and now they've worked together and they're able to actually produce a lot of wealth for the people. And I'm looking forward to it, as if there's problems, there's bound to be solutions, and we will find the solutions and we'll be able to fix Haiti. Thank you so much for watching, and looking forward to seeing what you guys are building in Haiti. So Haiti can be fixed.